Today I figured I'd follow up my sealed booster pack collection with just an overview of all of my empty theme deck and booster box collection for Pokemon. So I've got a little bit of everything here. I've kind of got the majority of the stuff that I really want. There's a few things I'm keeping an eye out for, but let's just start off with some of the earlier things I got. So this is kind of an interesting one. I think there's a different version of this like starter kit, like a 2-player starter set without the CD included. But it comes with a game that basically teaches you how to play the trading card game. It's called Pokemon Play It. I'm pretty sure, I think maybe Chad Tronic or somebody has a video of them playing it. The animation looks terrifying, especially this day and age, but at the time it worked well, and you could play the game. You could do like practice rounds and actually like play the game with pre-made decks in the game. It was pretty fun. So then with the theme decks, usually at least 2 came out for each expansion. However, some had more than 2, I believe. But starting off, I believe these are both for the base set. But what's cool about these is you'd pay like, at least back when I was a kid, you'd pay, I think usually $8-10, something like that. And then you'd always get one holo card. So it's like guaranteed holo plus a bunch of cards that you could use, potentially for collecting and or trading, and then obviously if you play the game too. I played the game a little bit as a kid, but was more interested in just getting the cards. Usually, some of these early ones don't show the holo card, but a lot of them do. So like this one doesn't show an Onyx, but I know the holo for this one was Hitmonchan, this one was Mewtwo, obviously. But I think by the time we get to like the expansion, so like here's the first one, Jungle, they started showing them, so that's why I'm pretty darn sure these are base set. All these cards in here are base set ones, so it makes sense. But if you look at the Jungle one now, they show that's your holo card, a Kangaskhan. And then, let's see here, all Power Reserve theme decks contain the same cards. Yeah, they put that, so kids like me didn't buy multiples, because I'm pretty sure at some point I did buy like a second one of these. Maybe I just want another Kangaskhan, I don't know. But this one's definitely one of the more nostalgic ones for me. I remember me and a neighbor friend of mine both had gotten those because we loved Kangaskhan. This one's also Jungle one. Vaporeon's the one there. None of these are sealed, by the way. These are empty, or they just have like the inserts. Collecting these sealed is pretty expensive, and honestly it doesn't do that much for me. I'd much rather have sealed booster packs, because those are more unique, and I guess something that you'd buy a bunch of, so I don't know. Base set 2, I know that one had like at least 3 or 4, I think, different theme decks, so. But the rares in these, I'm not actually sure, because, oh yeah, I guess they show it. So yeah, this one we got a Poliwrath. This one you got a Clefairy, a Lightning Bug. What'd you get in this one? Oh, Chansey. Kind of random, but they're all different types. In case you didn't notice, all of them have the 2 types. The majority of theme decks have at least, usually 2, but some of them are just 1. Once we get into some of these gym leader ones, I know they're mostly 1 type, but this is kind of a strange one. So I don't know how I have both of these. I know how I have one of them, because if we go over here, there's this Thunderstorm gift box. I bought this from my cousin back in the day when my parents would do a garage sale at our house. My cousin lived out in the country, so he'd send stuff to sell at the garage sale and put like his initials on it. And I bought this from him. I ended up buying a lot of stuff when we did that one summer. I bought his old Game Boy, his Pokemon Silver version, or Gold version, I mean, and then some cards and all that. So in here is basically just, here, I gotta lift it. It's an insert for Team Rocket. This is pretty cool. If I had like a dedicated room for this, I would definitely hang this up. It's pretty sweet looking. But you get like some damage counters, and probably like a mat maybe came in this originally. So, but this one says Thunderstorm gift box, right? So likely this came with the Thunderstorm deck. But what's strange is there's also a Tempest deck. And as far as I can see, they're the exact same thing. Gave you the same Zapdos from the Fossil era, so this is from Fossil. But they gave it 2 different names. So they named it Tempest if you bought it maybe separately, and Thunderstorm if you bought it with like the gift set. I don't know. It's kind of strange. I don't remember ever buying this separate. I remember buying this from my cousin. So I don't know. Pretty strange. Here's a couple of fossil decks. I really like the artwork on both of these. Magmar looking pretty sweet. And this one gave you a Lapras, one of my favorite Kanto Pokemon. And then this one gave you a Muck, if I remember right. Yeah. Kind of a cool memory with this one. My cousin and his older brother and I were all hanging out one summer at my parents' house. This is a long time ago. And the neighbors across the street were having a garage sale. So we walked over there and they were selling this deck. So we bought it and then we like split the cards and did all that. It was so much fun. Great memory. Here's Team Rocket, next expansion. So 2 decks here. One's like the Giovanni one, so comes with Dark Weezing, even though Weezing is James' Pokemon, but whatever. And then this one is Dark Arbok, so obviously Jesse's Pokemon. It'd probably work better if these 2 were separate, but whatever. Or if they did a third one with like a Persian or something. Next, we're getting into some of my favorite theme decks, without a doubt. The Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge ones. Don't have all of them. We got 5 of the 8, so there were 4 for each expansion. So the first 4, obviously, Brock, Misty, Lieutenant Surgeon, and Erica. And the main card you get was always the rare holographic whatever of that individual gym leader's Pokemon. So like this one, I'm pretty sure it's like Misty's Tentacruel. I'm gonna focus. There we go. This one I'm pretty sure was like a Magneton. Yeah. So pretty sweet. This one's Alakazam. This one is probably my favorite one out of all of them because it gave you Blaine's Arcanine, and if I remember right, its attack Firestorm there did like 120 damage or something. It was just unbelievable as a kid. So I remember getting this, and I remember actually giving another one as a gift to my same cousin who we'd split the cards over there with. I gave that to him for his birthday one year. I remember. It just blew my mind. Such a cool card. Now we're getting into the Neo ones. I don't have many of these. I wish I bought more because Neo is actually my favorite expansion. At least the 4 of them overall. But we got one for Neo Genesis and one for Neo Destiny. So this one gives you a Dark Typhlosion. This one just gives you a Jumpluff. I could have sworn I had bought the light version of this, and I probably threw away the box. I'm pretty happy that I hung on to the majority of these boxes as a kid. I'm actually pretty impressed. But I know there's a few other ones I had that I'm missing, because pretty darn sure there's the light Azumarill deck or whatever for the other Neo Destiny I had, as well as a couple others. Some of the newer ones, which I'm not as attached to, but I know I had that one at some point. Moving on into the Legendary Collection, I actually have both of these. These are pretty cool ones. This one actually just straight up gave you a Legendary Collection Charizard. And I don't have that card anymore, so I must have traded that at some point. But I do have a base set Charizard, so I don't know. Pretty darn sure I traded for that too, if I remember right. I traded for a lot of cards as a kid. That was such a fun thing. Didn't always make the smartest trades, but I did do a lot of that. This one gave you Dark Raichu. Definitely not as cool as Legendary Collection Charizard. And finally, we're moving into the E-Series stuff. So I did not buy a whole lot, but I guess I got 3 of the, I'm assuming 6 total, if we're maintaining the 2 per expansion. So I have 1 for Expedition, and I'm pretty sure this is the start where they actually give you, let's see here, 60 cards. I could have sworn it said, this does not include the random foil card. So yeah, usually like the showcase card now with these ones wasn't a holo one, but it was a random one. I don't know if that's true. Like if you bought multiple ones of these, if there was like, different random holos that got thrown in, I'd have to look and watch like some opening videos or do some research. But I think that's also the same case here too. Let's see, 1 random foil card. At least that's what it says. So I don't know, but I know the main cards in these none of these are holo ones. So like the Nidoking one, but nonetheless pretty cool. I love Aquapolis, one of my favorite expansions. So it's cool to have both of those. And then we're moving into where Nintendo took over, and I know I had bought more decks of these. I'm pretty darn sure I had bought the one for Team Magma versus Team Aqua, or maybe both of them, because they gave you like a couple Team Aqua's Kyogre and Team Magma's Groudon, so I know I had those, but probably threw them away. Like I said, I'm still happy I have most of these. So, Ruby and Sapphire, though, these are both pretty cool. Once again, the main card was not a holo, and one randomly selected holographic foil card, so I'm not sure. I guess that's just what they moved to. I don't know if they still do that. I'm pretty sure they still release themed decks, but I can't imagine they're that popular. You don't see them advertised as much, but I don't know. I'll have to go into a Walmart sometime or Target and look and see if they still actually do those. Here's a Deoxys one. This is a pretty cool set. This one gave you a holographic Rayquaza, so they must have gone back to it. I know the other version was a Deoxys. When I was a kid, Rayquaza is one of my favorite Pokemon. Lugia is my favorite, but Rayquaza is definitely up there. And then I got a Celebi one for Hidden Legends, Forest Guardian. That gave you a Dark Celebi, so that's kind of cool. Here is just kind of a random assortment of empty booster pack things that I have. I just thought I'd put them out. I don't really need to go through all of them. This is the reprint one that they did in Japan, so this is not the original base set one, but 20th anniversary. But there's some cool ones. It's fun to look through because some of them have like price stickers on them. And what's interesting is people actually sell these empty foils on eBay still, which is kind of crazy. But I've got a decent amount here. Base set 2, some Neo. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure I'm guessing that's just part of that reprint one again. More than likely. Although it does have a different thing there. I'd be shocked if I had... Oh wow, maybe that is an original one. I don't know. It doesn't say 20th anniversary. $9.99. Huh. Strange. I don't think I would have bought that as a kid, but what do I know? Maybe I bought that. But anyway, don't need to spend too much time on these, but the most interesting one here is I bought a bunch of these as a kid at my local game store, and they must have been trying to like clearance them out or something, because like $1.50 for a single pack. Like if I was like had any speculation as a kid, I should just bought all of them. But you know, as a kid, you don't have unlimited money. You got what you earned, or you know, whatever you had. So I mean, you can't just buy them all. But man, that's unbelievable. You'd never get cards for that cheap. Generally, at least for any sets that I care about nowadays. So kind of interesting, but let's move on. First thing up here is just a big display box. You know what? I'm just going to go up and around here. But yeah, this I found at Target. And I just grabbed it off the shelf. It was empty. I don't know what they were selling in here. I'm guessing... Well, it says trading card game. I was thinking it was, you know, like... Nowadays, Targets just have like those aisles with all the collectible in quotations junk, you know, just all the blind boxes and stuff. But I don't know. It's not for like a certain expansion, but I don't know. But it looks really cool. I thought the artwork was cool. I asked the guy, I was like, "Hey, there's nothing in here. Can I just have this?" He gave me like a weird look. He's like, "Yeah, I don't care." So that's how I got that. So I guess in chronological order, we got base set, jungle, Gym Heroes, and Gym Challenge. I really like these because they got all the leaders on it. It's pretty cool. Legendary Collection, that's a pretty special one just because it's a pretty popular set. Some great artwork there with the different Pokemon there with, as usual, Ken Sugimori. You got all 3 starters. I love that Charizard. So, yeah, pretty cool. Next in line is the Neo sets, of course, my favorites. Interesting, I noticed that the Genesis one is a first edition. Neo Discovery and Revelation are both standard, but then also the Neo Destiny is a first edition as well. So it's kind of cool. This is one of my favorites. One that a lot of people probably don't care about or don't know about because we never got it here. But the Versus series features the Johto gym leaders up top. Johto's one of my favorites, so love that. And then the series also had some of the Kanto Elite Four people in there as well. So you'd see like Lance's Dragonite, I think was maybe one, or his Gyarados. Quite a few of those. So that was kind of interesting. And I just realized that these are not in order of release, but probably some of the coolest ones with Lugia and Ho-Oh on the Sky Ridge and Aquapolis booster boxes. Obviously, all of these are empty. I do not own any sealed ones. I don't have that kind of money, and I didn't have that kind of money back then, or the speculation to buy sealed boxes as a kid. I wish I would have, because this one worth crazy money nowadays, but what can you do? Still, it's really cool to have both of these, even though they're not in perfect shape. Lots of cool artwork here with the different renderings and good stuff there. And then just a couple other ones that I found deals on eBay that I think look cool. Legend Maker, I always like this one. I like how it's like I don't know, some kind of like historical building with like the pillars and stuff. I thought that looked pretty sweet. And these are the same Pokemon that are on the booster packs for that as well. So, really like that Arcanine. Unseen Forces, just another one I found a deal on. It's got some cool ones. This one had a lot of Johto Pokemon, so that was the main reason I liked that one. I enjoyed some of those sets that came out during like the advanced generations, like Pokemon Sapphire, Ruby, Emerald were popular, but they brought back some Johto stuff. I always appreciated that. A couple other ones. This is, I believe, the Japanese one is Super Blast Impact or something like that, or Super Burst Impact. I can't remember. This is a Japanese booster box. I got a pretty good deal on this. Main reason I buy is because it's, once again, a lot of Johto Pokemon. I opened almost all of them. I have a couple sealed ones in there, but that you don't pay nearly as much as the American version for that. I think I paid like maybe $30-40 for it, but all the packs are only like 5 cards each, I think, or something like that. Here's those same Korean ones. I have a few sealed ones of. Once again, don't really remember the name of the sets, but they look cool. And if you really want to open like new sets of cards and don't really care about them or their value, you can buy the Korean ones on eBay for dirt cheap. The paper and the cards feels cheaper. They feel flimsier, but it's cool. You get to open stuff and not have to spend much money. But it's not really worth anything. I just thought they look cool. It's an interesting way to do it. What I got in here is just empty booster packs, I believe. And then these are kind of the newer style of the booster boxes themselves. They went to this more upright style rather than the flatter one that folds up. So when they open them, this like folds up and then they just stand up like this, whereas these stayed sitting with just this like folding up. So I got it for Heart Gold, Soul Silver Unleashed, and for Dragons Exalted. I don't think I've ever bought a booster of this one, but I like the artwork on it. The name, it's a cool name. I know I definitely bought some Heart Gold, Soul Silver, so that's a set that I really would like to actually get more of the cards in, even though I didn't buy a lot of them. Pretty much anything with Johto I'm just biased towards. So, that's what I got, guys. Hope you enjoyed. It's kind of fun to document this, like the sealed boosters, and honestly, for goals and stuff, it'd be fun to get the other gym leader empty boxes, but just don't see them go on sale much. You probably have better luck finding them at like a garage sale or something, honestly, because most of the people selling them are sealed ones, and I don't really see any benefit in spending $130 on a sealed booster or on a sealed deck. But that's just me. And then as for empty booster boxes, I mean, the main ones I'm missing are Fossil, Team Rocket, Expedition, and Base Set 2. I'd like to get a Fossil one and maybe a Team Rocket one. Expedition would be cool, but they're so overpriced. I got really good deals on both of these, but I cannot find a deal on an Expedition one. Everyone wants like $300, which is insane. And then Base Set 2, it's like very bottom of the pole for me. It'd be cool to have, the full set of all the original Wizards of the Coast ones, but it's like, I don't know, it just seems like a lot of money for that. So, but I could definitely see myself grabbing a Fossil one at some point. Fossil's a cool expansion. So, but anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. That's kind of all I wanted to do. So, I might have to do another video of like my cards once I get them organized or do something like that. But till next time, see you later.